you have to have a number of different aspects in place that can help, foster or catalyze a good startup community. I think, some of those are, in no particular order, talent, and talent could be coming from people who are moving into the city. Talent could be coming from other industries that are, have developers, designers, entrepreneurially minded people who are then coming out of those industries, in starting companies or getting into startups. Capital, of course. I mean, especially early stage startups, typically will not be able to fund themselves based purely on revenue. In order to really achieve high growth and high success in a short amount of time, having capital at all stages, from the seed, the Series A, the Series B, and up, is important, an important element of that ecosystem. Having a culture of openness, I think, and a culture that is okay with trial and error, with risk taking, with failure, and with supporting that, I think is very, very crucial. This notion that, if you have a really great idea, that you should keep it locked up and you shouldn't tell anyone about it. I think if that exists within a particular community, it's going to fundamentally hurt the potential for that community to become a major startup hub. The more that entrepreneurs are sharing with each other, being very open, sharing best practices, being useful, making introductions, that kind of culture of openness, I think, is extremely critical. I also think, a few other elements are media attention. One of the things that New York has benefited from by nature of being New York, is that it's already such a media hub. And a lot of innovation that's happening in New York in the startup sector, some of it actually is around new media anyway. So it's sort of like the media just looking into their backyard and saying, oh, look at all this cool stuff that's happening. But the more that there's an excitement and an energy and a vibrancy that the media oftentimes can provide and sort of shine a spotlight on the activity in the startup community, the more it's going to bring talent, the more it's going to bring capital, the more it's going to bring users and customers. And at the end of the day, there has to be a certain feedback loop in action. I think if you're to look at any recent growth of any startup hub, it's hard to pick one thing and say, oh, this did it. It's a sort of progress over time that builds off of itself.